Hello and welcome back to State and Local Government and Politics, Module 4, Key Actors in the Policy Process, Part 3, Social Movements and Citizens. A social movement is a group action characterized by a focus on a specific political or social issue by individuals who share a common outlook on society and are organized to cause social change. Contemporary studies indicate that the elite challenging mode of politics has been very effective in bringing about policy change when it is associated with the development of a social movement. Social movements are broad-based efforts to change societal institutions and practices that emphasize a collective identity reflective of an identifiable set of shared values. Such movements have included the causes of the prohibition of the manufacturing and sale of alcohol, workers' rights, civil rights, environmental protection, and women's rights. All of these movements affected state and local politics and public policy making in state and local government. Currently, the gay and lesbian rights movement is also very active at state and local levels of government. Efforts to promote the recognition of benefits associated with civil unions and the legal recognition of gay marriage are public policy changes being sought by this contemporary social movement. Sociologists and political scientists who have studied social movements have identified some characteristics associated with social movements that have been successful in the past. These characteristics include the following. First, sufficient financial resources to recruit and educate new members and to promote the desired policy outcomes in the general public. Second, involving people and organizations with prior grassroots experience. Third, identifying emotional issues to motivate people to participate. Fourth, using a micro-mobilization approach, organizing small, informal, and formal groups at the local level, all connected to a much larger network or coalition. Fifth, the absence of cross-cutting cleavages. Sixth, having a diverse and co-optable communications network, connecting individual and group participants, connecting participants with the mass media, and connecting the movement with potential new participants. Seventh, having capable and competent leadership. Eighth, having an optimistic expectation. And ninth, encouraging solidarity instead of free riding. Citizens. Citizens can influence state and local policy processes through traditional and elite challenging methods. Traditional methods would include, first, voting in elections. Second, working on political campaigns for candidates or political parties, which could include convincing others how to vote, attending rallies or meetings, and fundraising activities. Third, communal activities such as working with groups to solve community problems or contacting governmental officials. Elite challenging or unconventional political participation could include, first, signing petitions. Second, participating in lawful demonstrations. Third, participating in boycotts. Fourth, participating in unofficial strikes. And fifth, taking part in sit-ins and occupation of buildings or facilities in order to dramatize a claimed injustice. Overall participation in the United States compared to many other democracies is noticeably lower, particularly in recent years. In addition, not all segments in American society participate in elections at equal rates. A U.S. Census study of the 2016 general election found the following. Women are more likely to vote in the election than men. Voting rates were much higher for older-age citizens when compared to younger voters. The higher the level of educational attainment, the more likely a citizen was to vote. Citizens who are employed are significantly more likely to register and vote than those of lower income and less than full employment. And there are various differences in likelihood of voting among various ethnic and racial groups, with non-Hispanic white citizens being significantly more likely to take part in elections as compared to blacks and Hispanics. The 2020 general election saw several changes. First of all, there was a record turnout of about 155 million people voting. Biden made gains with suburban voters. Trump made gains among Hispanic voters. Apart from the small shift among Hispanic voters, Joe Biden's electoral coalition looked much like Hillary Clinton's, with black, Hispanic, and Asian voters, and those of other races casting about 4 in 10 of his votes. Biden made gains with men, while Trump improved among women, narrowing the gender gap. After decades of constituting most of the voters, baby boomers and members of the silent generation made up less than half of the electorate in 2020, 44%, falling below the 52% they constituted in both 2016 and 2018. A record number of voters reported casting ballots by mail in 2020, including many voters who said it was their first time doing so. Increasing citizen participation is important to state and local government because, first, voting and attentiveness to public affairs lies at the heart of the democratic principles upon which the United States was built. Second, citizen participation provides legitimacy to state and local policy decisions to the extent that people recognize that their concerns were incorporated into the laws under which we must all live. Third, citizen engagement can increase the citizen's sense of attachment to the community and engender the co-production of public goods. That is, citizens promote the public welfare by voluntary actions motivated by a sense of civic duty. For example, recycle to reduce solid waste, maintain safe lighting on private property, make donations, and the like to provide for those in need. Fourth, it helps to maintain and reinforce community networks and social connections, thus increasing the ability of communities and states to respond to natural and economic disasters. And fifth, heightened public participation can also lead to enhanced momentum to implement new policies and energize community-based initiatives needed to promote sustainability. Next, in Module 4, Key Actors in the Policy Process, Part 4, we will discuss initiatives in referenda, the media, and corporate and economic interests.